Well, here we are again, around the kitchen table. The greatest concern that I have is that we're spending, under this administration, $1,500 billion over what we're taking in each year. Now, even if we cut the deficit by $1 trillion in the next couple of years, that means we're still adding to the debt. If we cut $4 trillion over 10 years, compute it out yourself. That's only, what? $4 trillion. When we're adding $1.5 trillion in deficit each year. We need to go back to zero-based budgeting, go back to the last year of the Bush administration, and then consider making cuts. As a former manager of the federal government in an Army major subordinate command, I know there's waste. We buy things that we really don't need, and we don't buy things that we really do need. I'm going to be telling you in the near future the story of ammunition and where we are today and why we cannot fight a conventional war. The next enemy that we fight may be nuclear, because we don't have the capacity to make 20 millimeter and below conventional ammunition, which means rifle ammunition, pistol ammunition, machine gun ammunition. That's a great concern that I have. As the division chief of a division under the U.S. Army Armament, Munitions, and Chemical Command, I had 26 ammunition plants that my teams went out to visit. Those 26 ammunition plants were needed to fight the Vietnam War. Today, we have 8 left. Tell me, how are we going to fight a conventional war? That's the good question. But the deficit beyond that, the $1.5 trillion deficit on an annualized basis is what? It's 3 times greater than George Bush had in his last year. And we blame George Bush for not making cuts that would have saved this country an increase in the annual debt. The debt of this country, if we even took $4 trillion out of the deficit over the next 10 years, would be in excess of $20 trillion. We're reaching a point of what we call critical mass. Will we be able to pay the interest on the debt? And if we get a debt lowering rating by the Moody or other of the rating institutes, we're going to be in very deep trouble. You know, I said this in our last session. And next session, I'm going to be talking about one of your freedoms that you may be losing thanks to Senator Dirksen and thanks to the federal division that deals with drugs and other things. And I think it's important that you understand what freedoms you're losing. A lot of it has to do with the General Agreement on Trade and Tariffs that we've kind of signed on to indirectly through Hillary Clinton and others in the United Nations. I think that we should become aware of our freedoms that are being eroded. Thank you, and I'll see you soon.